We are live. Welcome to Lessons for Life 24/7, and we've already got a caller on the line. He must be a hero. Who's that?
My name is Joe.
Joe, welcome to Lessons for Life 24/7. Tonight we were going to talk about, have you ever saved someone's life? Joe, have you saved anyone's life?
No.
Has
not yet.
Has anyone ever saved your life?
No. Well, I mean, I don't know. No, nobody saved my life. I'm pretty responsible.
Okay.
Nobody saved my life when it comes to...
Have you perhaps
They
saved...
might save your life.
Yeah, I've had my life saved. You've saved me by ringing the show. I appreciate it. But I wanted to look at the... there's a saying, I believe it comes from the Quran, that says if you save one life, it's as if you have saved the whole of mankind. And if you take one life, it's as if you've killed the whole of mankind. But no one has saved your life yet.
No. And hopefully no one ever will. Okay?
Hopefully they'll never have to.
No. Life or death situation.
Would you risk your life to save someone else's?
Yeah, I think so. Depends on the context, but pretty much, yeah, I would.
Would you risk your life for a stranger?
For what?
For a stranger, for someone you've never met?
Possibly. Depends, again, the context. Context is very important, what's happening. Let's say, guys, such a situation. Be foolish of me to commit to a plan without assessing the situation, so... But I would give it a good thought, though. I'll say that.
Joe, you sound heroic. Thanks for your call on Lessons for Life 24/7. Thank you.
Yeah, people, call up to the show.
Yeah.
Call up to the show. Make it. Let's get it happening.
There you go. Share, like, subscribe. Joe, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right then. There's that song again. Crimes of Britain's listening. That was Joe kicking us off with the phone in, and I sprung it on him because I haven't really explained the context of this topic that we're going to do tonight. But someone actually got in touch with me and said that a stranger had shared saved her life, and that's why I was asking Joe if he would put it all on the line for someone we don't know. It's a natural inclination to risk your life for your family, especially your children. And I believe this is in our DNA, because from a natural point of view, you are better off if you die, but your children survive. So that's why mothers, fathers will risk their lives to save their offspring, because literally that's their DNA being passed on. But what about for a stranger? Would you risk your life for a stranger? Is that an unnatural decision to make? Is that counterintuitive in terms of surviving? And if you're a Darwinist and you believe that we are here just to reproduce and carry on the genetic line, then why would you risk your life for a stranger? Should we risk our life for a stranger? Have you risked your life for a stranger? Abdullah, what will we discuss today? Well, we're talking about saving a life or taking life. Abdullah, has anyone ever saved your life? If not literally, perhaps metaphorically. Has someone saved you from going down the wrong path? Maybe you were a teenager and you were about to make some stupid decisions, and then someone guided you the right way. Could that be saving your life? Some people say that when they find faith in God, or they embrace a new religion, that saved their life. For me, I don't know if am I saved in that sense. 33X is saying the Malcolm X book by Alex Haley saved my life. That's interesting, 33X. I wonder how. I wonder how a book could save your life. Maybe you were carrying it in your pocket and someone shot you and all the bullets went into the book. I wonder, is that what he meant? Or am I being too literalist, like a lot of people are? Anyway, we're going to speak to a woman, hopefully, who is going to share her story of how her life was saved, literally, but I just want to use that as a focal point to think about being saved metaphorically. A book could save your life. A sport could save your life. I am Mike Tyson, the youngest heavyweight champion ever of the world. He would say that boxing saved his life. And he was a kid from the streets getting into fights, armed robbery, age 12, and boxing turned his life around. Maybe a sport could save your life. Maybe a book could save your life. Maybe a religion, or maybe an older person, a role model, someone you looked up to. Abdullah says, well, our parents have sacrificed their lives and time and money for my livelihood and well-being. These are ways to save lives. Yeah, absolutely. Parents make the ultimate sacrifice, and maybe that's why parents are willing to sacrifice their life, literally, for their children, for their offspring. Maybe. Anyway, if you have been in such a situation, give me a call. Alcoholics Anonymous also saved my life indeed. That's 33X. He's obviously kicked a habit, and addiction can consume you. I believe the word alcohol actually comes from the Arabic root word meaning to consume something. Alcohol, to eat or to consume. And alcohol can definitely consume an individual, but so can addiction to anything. Cigarettes are obviously literally physically addicted, but people get addicted to anything. They get addicted to computer games. They get addicted to this. Am I addicted to live streaming on YouTube night after night after night? I don't think so. I'll have to go to YouTube Anonymous. I had a night off last night anyway. I hope you all enjoyed a break from watching Lessons for Life 24/7 live. So yeah, have I had my life saved? I nearly drowned once. I was swimming in a river in Bern in Switzerland, and the current is very rapid, and a friend and I were swimming in this river as it was gushing along, and the current just sort of took me under. And for a split second, you know, when you just take a breath away. Oh wait, here's a comment for Dardasha. A quick one from me. Healthy lifestyle saves your life. Trust in God will save your life. And Middlesex Omar is saying, mad ting. I hope that's a positive. Okay, a healthy lifestyle can save your life. Yeah, well, as I was saying, I had my life saved in Switzerland, in a river, and a good friend pulled me out. And it was only for a split second that I was under the water. I might have been able to swim back out myself, but for the split second, I thought I was in trouble, and this friend pulled me out. And that's the sort of thing that you'll never forget. Even such a short moment, one instant in life, when you're at that crossroads and it could go one way or another. Have I saved other people's lives? Maybe. I've got a few stories I could tell on that one, a few war stories, but I think the truth is we have no idea the impact we have on other people. You won't know. You might have saved someone's life and you will not be aware of it. 33X is saying, why were you swimming in the river in the first place? It's dangerous and risky. It is dangerous and risky, but, you know, coming out of your house is dangerous and risky. I think you have to You have to risk things in life. Otherwise, you'd never go anywhere. You'd never do anything. But yeah, I think we have no idea the impact we have on other people's lives. And you will have saved people's lives. Right now, there is someone out there who owes their life to you. You. And you're not even aware of it. Something you said, something you did, an example you gave, someone will have followed in your footsteps, and that will have saved their life. But equally, what if you've taken a life? Middlesex Omar, sorry if you've mentioned this already. What happened to your eye? No problem, Middlesex Omar. I mentioned it in a previous broadcast, and I sustained the injury to which one is it? This one. I sustained the injury to the eye when I was kickboxing in the Midlands on Sunday at the WFMC Midlands Open, where I got to the final and lost. Won the semi-final, lost the final, sustained a black eye, but I went out on my feet. The referee didn't have to step in to save me, to save my life, because I was protecting myself at all times. So yeah, lifesavers. I think like people can take things too literally, and the quote that we're sort of basing tonight's discussion on of if you've saved one life, you've saved the whole of mankind, and if you've taken one life, it's as if you've taken the whole of mankind. I think it comes back to this sort of, it's a bit cliche that one death is a tragedy, but 1,000 is a statistic. And we talk a lot about how many millions of people were killed in this war, how many millions of people were killed in that war, and it just becomes numbers. Middlesex Omar saying, mashallah, I bet his knuckles are really messed up. Well, I wish I could say that was the case. No, it was a good final. Was a good fight. He was a strong boy. 33X, the Quran will save your life, but only if ... Not sure what he's going to say next, but that's another book that might save your life. Okay, it's time to speak to our mystery guest. So, mystery guest who got in touch with me on this topic, now is the time to call, and the number is on the screen. I want you to share your story with us. It's a woman who got in touch, and I'm not going to give her name because she wanted to be anonymous, and she was in a situation where her life was saved. I wonder, is that literally or metaphorically? Maybe both. We'll find out shortly. But yeah, mystery guest, now is the time to call the number on your screen and let's speak to you. Let's get to the bottom of the mystery of someone saving her life. And sorry, it's a stereotypical story of a woman being saved by a man. I know we've had that all our lives with all the fairy tales. Why is it always the princess has to be saved by the prince? If you've got the opposite story, I'd love to hear from you. If you're a man that's been saved by a woman, are men embarrassed when something like that happens? Do we feel like we're belittling ourselves? Sometimes men will be reluctant to take help from a woman because they feel that they're not man enough. And these stereotypes that the man should save the woman and the man should be the hero. Well, sometimes the woman can be the hero. Nikki Owen says, feels like you're playing a character. Okay, Nikki Owen, which character would that be? Give me a call and tell me which character I'm playing. Maybe you're playing a character. Nikki Owen might not be your real name. And I don't know if you're a man or a woman, Nikki Owen, because that name could be either. But the number's on the screen if you want to tell me why you think I'm playing a character or which character I'm playing, then give me a call. And Dardasha said something there, but I missed it. So yeah, Boise from Only Fools and Horses. Is that who I'm playing? Marlene. I could try to do Boise if you like 33X. All right, Del Boy. Nah, not very good. I'm all right with it with some impressions, but not Only Fools and Horses. Middlesex Omar is laughing. Thank you, Middlesex Omar, wherever you are in Middlesex. Right, where's our caller? Where's the mystery woman whose name I can't... Crimes of Britain is laughing as well. Crimes of Britain! Name me your top Irish hero. Because there's been a lot of lives lost in Ireland over the 800 years of conflict, and there must have been a lot of lives saved. And I could name a few, but maybe Crimes of Britain could give me your top Irish hero. Rory O'Brady. Okay. If you want to give me a call and talk about Rory O'Brady and tell me why. Abdullah saying Dardasha save non-Arab lives by teaching them Arabic. Oh, Abdullah, you're chatting to Dardasha again. Perhaps she does. I don't know. I'm not sure if okay, Crimes of Britain's going to call in a couple of minutes. Very kind of you, Crimes of Britain. If you can, it will be great to speak to you. And I'd love to hear about Irish heroes. One Irish hero that springs to mind for me would be Henry Joy McCracken. I've got a picture of him just over there on a postcard. He was a leader of the United Irishmen in the uprising in 1798. Yeah, there you go. And Crimes of Britain has just put it on the screen. 1798. And the United Irishmen were fighting for an independent Ireland. The whole of Ireland at the time was was part of the United Kingdom, and they were a group founded mainly by Protestants, Presbyterians, in fact, who embraced Irish unity. They wanted to unite with Catholics, and they fought together to free Ireland from British rule. And Henry Joy McCracken, one of the leaders, was captured, tortured, and they demanded that he would give the names of his comrades, but he would not betray them, and as such, he was hanged in Belfast by the Corn Market, I believe. And it's a sad story, and his sister even arranged for a doctor to be on the scene, as she hoped that perhaps she could revive him after he'd been hanged. And Crimes of Britain is saying his own family owned the property he was hanged on. There you go. That is, I didn't know that fact. And that shows you someone perhaps from a privileged background who was really, really a man of the people and could have had the life of wealth, the life of riches. And had he turned in his comrades, I'm sure he would have been allowed to live. But he believed in something greater, which was a free, independent Irish republic, which we don't have yet. We don't have yet because Ireland is not united, but we can do a whole show on that another night. Maybe Crimes of Britain can elaborate. Abdullah is saying Crimes of Britain, someone at Speaker's Corner told me, I'm not going to read that out. Let's not make wild allegations against people. And if Crimes of Britain rings the number, he can explain who he is, what he's about, what he wants to say, what he doesn't want to say. So yeah, I definitely think there's many heroes in Ireland that save people's lives. And 33X is saying FBI is going to close this channel down. Not yet. We're not going down without a fight. We'll carry on. Maybe someone can save the channel. There might be a time when the channel has to go. And I mean, it's silly really, but we all make sacrifices, don't we? And someone might say what they think and have to make a sacrifice for it. Someone who Crimes of Britain won't probably like much, but the Reverend Ian Paisley, a loyalist, hardcore Protestant who despised Catholics as followers of the Antichrist, as he referred to the Pope as, and he famously heckled the Pope. I think it might have been at the UN. The Pope was there and he stood up and he heckled him. I'm going to take a call anyway. Hello, caller. Crimes of Britain, welcome. Thank you very much for giving us a call. How are you doing?
No problem. I'm good. Yourself?
Very well, very well. Great to speak to you. I've read a lot of your comments. Great to hear your voice. You're a very learned historian by the looks of things.
That's kind of you, sir.
And we're talking lifesavers. So who was your top lifesaver?
I haven't ever thought of it in that way, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, if we were talking Irish history, like you brought up, I guess there's many examples. Patrick Pearse put an end to the 1916 Rising because of the number of casualties during that period.
Okay.
So you could use him as an example, I suppose. You could use the hunger strikers too, of 1981, who gave their lives to end the criminalisation process of prisoners of war.
And 10 men lost their life in that hunger strike, correct?
That's right, 10 men.
And did they save lives by doing that?
They certainly improved the living conditions for prisoners eventually.
Okay.
With their sacrifice. I mean, their sacrifice was for the 5 demands, purely, essentially, to get the reinstatement of prisoner of war. And obviously...
and that was a right that's been taken away, right? All they wanted was to go back to how it was, as I understand.
Yeah, I think it was taken away.
Margaret Thatcher had stripped all political prisoners in Ireland.
Yeah, and the criminalisation process was actually brought in by the Labour Party, I think, in 1976.
Okay.
Which laid the foundations for criminalising prisoners of war. Prior to that, they were actually treated as prisoners of war and were able to control their own routine.
Yeah. It is an incredible sacrifice to take your own life. I heard a story of a Catholic priest visiting one of the prisoners. I'm presuming it was Bobby Sands, as he was the one who went first. And the priest tried to tell him that to knowingly allow yourself to die would be suicide. And Bobby Sands responded, in that case, Christ himself committed suicide. Because as the story goes, Christ could have saved himself on the cross, but he chose not to in order to save the whole of mankind, as the Christians believe. 33X is saying, hunger strike is the worst protest to partake in. Well, I think it's an honourable one, and I think it's better than killing other people, but you might have a different opinion, Crimes of Britain.
Well, in relation to Irish history anyway, it differs in other parts of the world. A hunger strike would really be a last resort.
Okay.
It wouldn't be something people undertake willy-nilly.
Yeah.
So I think that there wasn't just 10 hunger strikes in 81. There was 22 in total throughout Irish history. The first being Terence McSweeney, who was in Brixton prison at the time. And again, it was always as a last resort and a last option. And blood sacrifice, has played a central part of revolutionary history in Ireland and other parts of the world, which is probably why Iran honoured Bobby Sands. And
yes,
there's an affinity with that because of martyrdom.
I have stood on Bobby Sands Street in Tehran, where the British Embassy used to stand. And it was called Winston Churchill Street prior to that. It's now Bobby Sands Street. And when I travelled to Iran, I travelled, of course, on my Irish passport, as if I was a British citizen, I would only be allowed to enter with a tour guide. So certainly shockwaves were sent around the world, and places that stand up to imperialism honour that sacrifice that you mentioned. It's very good example.
Definitely.
What do you think? Oh, just to finish off, Crimes of Britain, don't want to take all your time. The quote, if you've killed one, it's as if you've killed the whole of mankind. I'm guessing you're a man who believes there is a time and a place for armed struggle, and that will mean loss of life.
I think in order to free people from oppression throughout history, people have had to resort to that. But again, people under oppression usually have used it as their only means, and people explore many other avenues before taking that route. And if there's an alternative, any sane individual would always go with such. But sadly, with the sheer brutality and armed might of the states people are up against, they have no choice but to engage in such.
As you called it, last resort. Crimes of Britain, thank you very much for getting in touch. Really glad to hear your voice.
Good to chat with you.
Yeah, thank you. I hope we'll do it again.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Son Nabil. That's great to hear from Crimes of Britain. Really appreciate that. And he mentioned last resort. 33X is saying, I hope this guy is not Muslim. Would it matter if he was? I'm not sure why you say that, 33X. And hunger strike, famous in Ireland. It was used, Middlesex Omar saying, nice one, Crimes of Britain. Here. The hunger strike was used famously in Ireland. In the last couple of years, there have been mass hunger strikes in prison in Palestine, Palestinian prisoners on hunger strike. 33X is saying, yes, it would. If you want to explain yourself, if you want to call me, the lines are free now. If anyone wants to get through, there's the number on the screen. Give me a call. Would it matter if he was Muslim? I'm not sure what 33X is going on about there. Mass hunger strike. 33X is saying he'll be on a watch list. Well, Irish people have been on watch lists for many, many, many years, and we carry on. Hunger strikes amongst the Palestinian prisoners in the Israeli prisons. There was affinity and solidarity shown from Irish Republicans who remember their hunger strike, but the world didn't really hear much about it. I don't recall much press coverage of the hunger strikes of the Palestinians in the Israeli jails. But every time Palestinians pick up arms and use a violent form of resistance, whether you agree with it or not, some people don't. But if you don't agree with it and you don't believe that the Palestinians should resort to violence to end the occupation, then you really should praise them when they resort to a peaceful form of protest, such as hunger striking. Crimes of Britain, Palestinians supported the 1981 hunger strike. There is a famous photograph of Palestinian women expressing solidarity with H-Block martyrs. Yes, absolutely. They went both ways. Tim Asuma is saying, how do the Irish see the effects of Brexit on themselves? I'll come to that shortly, Tim. Good point from Crimes of Britain on the solidarity between the Palestinians and the Irish. I hope we will always see that. Secret Sneak is saying, I'm 9. You're up a bit late if you're 9. The Irish impact on Brexit, I think all or the majority of people on the island of Ireland do not want a hard border, never mind a soft border on their country. I think the majority of people in Ireland have never wanted the border. There are some people that want a soft border. Perhaps Brexit, Secret Snake is saying it's 7 a.m. Okay, you must be in a different country, no problem. Perhaps Brexit will be the problem that highlights for the Irish people the very obvious solution that is staring them in the face, which they can democratically opt for at any moment, as enshrined in the Good Friday Agreement, which is, of course, a united Ireland, but that is for the people of Ireland to decide. Secret Sneaker saying, I'm going to sub to you. Thank you. 33X is saying, are Irish people descendants of Palestine? Who knows, 33X? Who knows where the Irish people came from? Gershom at Speaker's Corner once told me that the Irish people are descended from the Hebrews. I have no idea about that one. Crimes of Britain is adding also in 1998 surrender agreement is the unionist veto on Irish freedom. Okay, so Crimes of Britain is perhaps against the Good Friday Agreement, but democracy is democracy, and the majority of people in Ireland agree to it. And when the majority of people in Ireland opt for a united Ireland, then that will be theirs, and I hope they opt for it soon. Abdullah A is saying, "Are you Irish?" Lessons for Life. Yes, I am, and I hold I'm Irish origin, and I hold an Irish passport and a British passport. But there's some countries that I travel to, it's better to arrive as an Irish citizen. Nikki Owen saying, "Do you advocate assassination of bad people?" And he's put bad people in inverted commas. Short answer, no. And we go to the phone lines. Hello, caller. You're live on Lessons for Life 24/7.
Thank you very much. I wish to talk about saving lives.
You're welcome. Go ahead. Do you want to tell us who you are, or you?
My name is Triple T.
Triple T, welcome.
Thank you very much.
What have you got to say about saving lives?
How my life was saved from a former. Was very difficult to speak about, but I guess it would help your viewers if I mentioned it. Perhaps about 10, 12 years ago, I was hooked on everything bad.
Okay.
And the only thing that saved me from that terrible position of life was the autobiography of Malcolm X.
You mentioned it in the comments.
I managed to read that book. I stayed up. I think it took me 7 or 8 days. I had never read a book in my entire life at that time. And that book was something which changed me forever. It made me believe that irrespective of the position that you're in your life, just like Earl Nightingale says, that you can change. You can change your position if you change your attitude. And what we need in life is people to show us that it's possible. But when I read the part of Malcolm X when he was in prison, and even before then, he was hooked on everything. He was sleeping on the streets, and he was a drunk and so on. From that position, from a drunken, druggy, pimp, low-life position, someone living on the streets, for that man to be speaking in the United Nations 10 years from that moment or so, that is an incredible task that he achieved. And it gave a little me, somebody who is a nobody really in the grand scheme of things, gave me so much hope, even after his death, maybe 60, 70 years. And it changed me completely. And I hope that others who are listening will read that book, and perhaps it'll change their lives too.
What's the name of the book? And it's a biography, not an autobiography.
It's an autobiography as told to Alex Haley.
Okay, so Alex Haley was like the ghostwriter, or how would you?
No, I think the really busy people. I think it's a modern thing now, but that was the first one. As told to is obviously everything is Malcolm X's words, but it's Alex Haley that's doing all the writing.
Okay.
And editing and so
on. Someone took Malcolm X's life. Do you think Malcolm made the sacrifice by saying what he said and saying what he believed in, knowing that it would make him a target?
One of Malcolm X's most popular statements is, "If a man stands for nothing, that man will fall for anything." And Abdul Gamal Nasser from Egypt, he welcomed him and he said, "Look, your life is in danger, stay in Egypt. You have immediate citizenship." And 10 other countries decided to give Malcolm X citizenship, but he knew his life was in danger in Brooklyn. Yeah. And he stood there with his people, and his words were, "I truly believe that God put me on this earth to help my people," and he was willing to die for something. And
superb. I think,
and that's what he did, and he lived for something, and he died for that something.
You have to respect someone who will put their life on the line, risk losing their life, and sadly, in the case of Malcolm X, lose it in the process. But what a legacy, what a message to leave behind.
And the lesson here is also from the Nation of Islam, is that jealousy can and has ruined empires.
Mm-hmm.
Jealousy is a terrible thing. Pride and arrogance and who is he, I'm better, so that type of thinking should be eroded and should be taken out of every human being's heart, because that is what ultimately destroys people and ends up taking.
Are you saying the Nation of Islam were jealous of Malcolm X when he left? Is that what you're getting at?
The popularity of Malcolm X, certainly they were jealous of, and that was the main reason I think that sadly Malcolm X's life was taken. Now the leader of the Nation of Islam, the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is doing a good job trying to revive Malcolm X and try and put a positive note in the history of the Nation of Islam. And
does he speaks favourably of him now, does he? Because I've heard him be critical in the past.
No, he speaks very favourably of him, and he's very apologetic, and he has said that some words that he had stated may have led to his death.
And he's apologetic for that. Yeah.
He has apologized for that unreservedly, and we have to try to move forward. We just can't stay where we were. But the tragedy there is this man, Malcolm X, was the only leader that was taking the United States government to trial for the 400-year slavery and the 150-year criminal activity towards the black people. He was going to get compensation for the black people out there in the UK and other places, and for the pain and suffering that they had endured all those years. And the state of black people in the US is not good. I lived in Brooklyn. It's not great. And therefore, if he hadn't died, they wouldn't be in the position that they're in today.
Triple T, before you go, Middlesex Omar is asking me who I think killed Malcolm X. The truth is, I don't know enough about it, but I've always heard rumours that it was the Nation of Islam or someone within the Nation of Islam, and you seem to be suggesting that might be the case.
Well, the people who shot Malcolm X dead were people who were members of the Nation of Islam in Newark. But the book that was published by Manning Marable 3 days before he passed away, that took him 20 years to write, suggests many other things, that he wasn't in a position where he could have got shot. 2,000 people were there, and there was one police officer. And all the police officers managed to just dissipate into thin air.
In the comments,
many other things.
Tim has mentioned same for Martin Luther King Jr. I understand Martin Luther King was killed by a black man. You would have think would be a white supremacist. Am I wrong on that?
He was killed by a white supremacist.
Are you sure? Okay, I've perhaps got my wires crossed there. But very often, Abdullah A is saying Nation of Islam is a made-up religion who the leader never really believed in the religion. He used Islam as a religion for black people because they believe this religion is for them. We probably won't get into that tonight. Crimes of Britain saying Martin Luther King's children successfully sued the US government for their father's murder. Okay. And you are referring to Malcolm X. Okay, perhaps I've mixed up my assassinations. MLK was murdered by the US government. That is what TwizUp is saying. Possibly. Who knows? Very often someone will be murdered by a patsy. If you look at some of the assassinations.
All the leaders have had, even Gaddafi had so many, and even the Cuban former president, his name is not coming to my mind just yet. The name has just slipped my mind.
Castro.
But he had, that's right, yeah.
Fidel
he
Castro.
had hundreds of assassination attempts by the US government.
Yeah, that's correct.
and many others. So if they have an agenda, then they try to fulfill it. We can't say, we don't know. Perhaps there is evidence, perhaps there's not. But the tragedy is, if these leaders, and they only come around once in a lifetime, if they end up dead, then who leads the people? It's like the blind leading the blind. Who's leading us today, or who's leading the black people today? Come on.
Very true. And in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
Indeed he is.
I'm looking like the one-eyed man, but not that one-eyed man. I know what you're thinking. Triple T, thank you very much for your call. You've saved my life. You've saved the show.
Thank you. Pleasure.
We'll do it again. Thank you very much.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, sir. There goes Triple T, big fan of Malcolm X. Lessons for life. Which character do you like at Speaker's Corner or dislike? There's so many characters at Speaker's Corner, and the people I like the most are not necessarily the people I agree with. Tim Asuna saying, look it up, Martin Luther King was killed by a black man from the Nation of Islam. Need to get our facts straight here, ladies and gents. Who killed Martin Luther King? It was only 60 years ago. Someone's asking me to up for the top 5 characters at Speaker's Corner. And Abdullah saying there are people in the world who don't believe in the faith of a religion, but they claim to follow a religion because they think it's good for them. Speaker's Corner, I was chatting to Joseph on Sunday. That video is available on this channel and an extended version on Content Over Everything. Subscribe to Content Over Everything. That's the best channel probably for Speaker's Corner. Leon, who runs it, is an absolute gentleman. And you won't see him on any videos. You have to go and pitch up and be there in person. And I think some of the best people or characters, individuals at Speaker's Corner, are the ones that don't actually bring themselves forward to go on camera. Often the people who say the least have the most to say. So yeah, Leon, great, humble guy, comes with his camera, gives everyone a fair shot at saying what they want to say. Really done an amazing thing with his channel, Content Over Everything. Another YouTuber, TNT Greek, TNTS Greek, another guy, works hard with his live stream, gets lots of really great content up there. So the people behind the camera are great characters. The people in front of the camera, I mean, are they being a character? Are they being themselves? I like Alumba, the guy who stands up there every week and says, Alumba says love one another. And he's dressed in white and he's telling everyone that Christ has returned and is in Nigeria. And no one's really listening to what he's saying, but everyone's marveling at the fact he's saying it, and he's there every week. You've got to admire that commitment. I wish I believed that strongly. It's a good impression. Thank you, Crimes of Britain. Yeah, I can do a few Speaker's Corner impressions. As I was saying, I'm chatting to Joseph. We are so-called Joseph, who is a Zionist. So Middlesex, I'm saying, stop trying to give us the most eclectic answers. Clever close. Well, I'm not clever enough to know what eclectic means, but I think you mean get on with it or get to the point. Yeah, like Joseph, great guy, says everything with a smile. He's polite. He doesn't lose his temper, or if he does, he apologizes. That's what I respect in Speaker's Corner. When I see somebody say, "Oh, sorry, I got angry there," or "Oh, sorry, I was wrong," or "You know what, I've actually listened to you," because for all the opinions that fling around that place every Sunday, I think very few people ever go home with a different one. It's not called Listening Corner, is it? It's Speaker's Corner. But yeah, there's lots of great characters. Bob the Builder, another character. Worst characters at Speaker's Corner: Pavlov, Joseph, Bob, Ralph, Raspect, Hatun, Mohammed Hijab. All right, that's interesting, GB Records, because you're at least disliking people on different ends of the opinion spectrum. So I've got to, you can't criticize someone for their taste, but at least you're not just hating people because they disagree with you. A lot of people will hate a person for the opinion they have. You shouldn't hate somebody for the opinion they have, because your opinions can change. Your opinions should change. I hope I go through life with a variety of opinions. Wouldn't that be like living twice or three times? People believe in reincarnation, and you're going to come back as something else. But if you can go through life and learn different things and think different things about them, have different opinions on the same facts, well, it's like you're being reincarnated. We're getting a bit metaphysical now, as it's getting late. But yeah, who else at Speaker's Corner? Pavlov's a good friend of mine. Someone here doesn't like it. GB Records saying, yes, I dislike the characters and how they present themselves, not the ideas and the opinions they hold. Well, fair play, GB Records. That is your opinion, and you are entitled to it. There's a guy at Speaker's Corner called William. Shout out to William, who has been in a lot of videos with me recently and with Pavlov. And he's a clever man. He expresses himself very well and likes to go very deep on topics. Watch out for any videos with him if you can. 33X is saying genius. I'm not sure who he's referring to, but someone's a genius. But yeah, that's sort of there's my eclectic answer. Anyway, it's just about time to wrap up the show. We have been talking about saving people's life. Thank you to Triple T who saved the show, and Crimes of Great Britain. I don't know what happened to my damsel in distress. A woman got in touch with me and suggested this topic of life saving because someone had saved her life, and she has not called the show. She has not phoned the number. Maybe she needed to be saved again. I don't know. Anyway, if you would like to appear on the show, if you would like to get in touch with the topic, you can text the number. 33X is saying, this channel saved my life. Thank you. You're welcome. Middlesex is Omar saying, eclectic isn't an insult, fam. Sorry, Middlesex Omar. Thank you for clarifying, and I didn't feel insulted by what you said. I appreciate you sharing your comments in the chat. Thank you very much. So, if you want to be involved, hit me up on an email, lessonsforlife247@gmail.com. Thank you very much, Middlesex Omar. Thank you for watching. And we'll do it all again probably tomorrow, if I feel like it. I will get some order to this, and we'll get a schedule, and we'll try and go maybe every night from 10 o'clock. But for now, it's just sort of eclectic, if that's the right word. Anyway, we'll do it all again, same time, same place. We were here, or we're gone. Laters. Here's the music.